Welcome back for another Star Wars book review. So today, it's the conclusion of the Callista Trilogy, which is Planet of Twilight. Now, thank God. I am so happy. I am so happy that this trilogy is over. I mean, it absolutely was a complete displeasure to read. So Barbara Hambly wrote Children of the Jedi. Now, if you haven't seen my previous videos, I'll link them below for you. The first one, Children of the Jedi, by Barbara Hambly, was super weird, okay? Darksaber, the second one, didn't even feel like it was part of the trilogy, just felt like a sequel to the Jedi Academy trilogy, which I liked. And then this third one was just, honestly, kind of thought it was garbage. This whole trilogy was just, it was not enjoyable. Like, there was no continuity whatsoever. It was kind of actually a lot like the sequel movies, okay? Like, they didn't seem to relate to one another. There was a different villain in every one. Like, the villains from the first book, Children of the Jedi, Roganda and Eric, they escaped at the end of that book, and what happened to them? Thought we would find out in the rest of the trilogy, but no. It's like three completely different stories. The only thing that ties them together is Callista, who I don't like anyway. That love story between Callista and Luke, I'm not a fan. I mean, if you've watched any of my other videos, you've already heard me bitch about it. I am just not a fan. Basically, my review is that this is not a trilogy worth reading. You're better off watching my videos or just Googling it if you care. I did like Darksaber by Kevin Anderson because I liked the Jedi Academy trilogy. I liked that, but these other two books, I was not a fan. Now, I am going to summarize it briefly, like super briefly, because frankly, I don't care to talk about it that much. But if you do want to read it or care to read it, and you don't want it spoiled for you, peace out. So, at the very beginning of the book, Leia gets captured by this guy who wants to open the borders of his planet, but the majority of the population voted against it, so he's like, I want to do it anyway. And she's like, the majority said no, so no. And also, you're not part of the New Republic, so why am I even here? And he's basically like, screw you. So then he captures her and takes her to Namchurios. And then Luke has been looking for Callista, right? Because he's all like, I have to save her. She needs saving. And I'm the brave one. So Luke is looking for Callista. His search has brought him, of course, to Namchurios, because it wouldn't be Star Wars unless there were crazy coincidences, which is fine. So he ends up on Namchurios looking for Callista. Doesn't know Leia's there. Leia spends the entire book in captivity, basically like being drugged. Okay. Luke, spoiler alert, does not ever really find Callista. They do not talk at all during this book. Okay, the basic plot line of this book is that Namchurios is the home of two important things. First of all, Drock beetles, which are like beetles that burrow under your skin and feed off of you. Basically like the beetles from The Mummy. Okay? And the other part of the plot line is there are crystals that are mined there, which are used as like cybernetic foci for these synth droids. These crystals are connected to like a central brain, so you can have a central brain on your ship or whatever, and you can have these synth droids walk around with you. They have like real flesh, highly intelligent. They're sold as pleasure droids, but you can also have them as like bodyguards or whatever, or crew if you wanted to, but they're super expensive. So basically, there are crystals here, and there are beetles that suck out part of your life force. Now, one of these Droke beetles, we find out like near the end, was genetically modified, so he's like a man, but also still a beetle. He's just a big man beetle, and when the beetles feed off of you, like burrow under your skin and feed off your life force, he like gets off on it and is like strengthened or whatever. So he's a vampire man beetle. We also find out near the end that these crystals are sentient, so that's happening. We have sentient crystals now too. Namchurios is like a super force sensitive planet apparently, so if Luke so much as flicks something with the force, it has this massive butterfly effect on the other side of the planet. There's like a giant electrical storm. I'm so irritated. It just was not a good book. I'm sorry. Like, the story was convoluted and confusing. There was a lot of detail given to these synth droids. R2 and 3PO get captured by a pirate, and there's a lot of time spent on that, which kind of reminded me of the Droids cartoon, which tickled my brain, but other than that, like, I just don't care. So the plot of the book is basically they end up on this planet and discover that Seti Ashgad, who set up this meeting with Leia, wants to open up the planet so this huge corporation can come in and basically enslave the people there to mine these crystals for these synth droids. But Seti Ashgad is being controlled by the vampire beetle man, so that the vampire beetle man can send out his Droke beetles to planets all over the galaxy, because he thinks that it will make him like massively powerful if he has beetles all over the galaxy. And Leia eventually escapes, and she finds Callista, and Callista's like, I don't want to be with Luke because I feel too much pressure, and because it just hurts too much to know that I'll never have the Force again, and I just need to move on with my life, so can you please let him know that I don't want to be followed anymore? And Leia's like, sure, sis. There's like a battle at the end of the book, and Luke and Callista both end up there, and they like lock eyes on each other, and she like tenses up because she thinks that he's going to try to convince her to come back, and she thinks she might bend to him because she still loves him or whatever, but he senses that she's like trying to move on with her life, so he just gives her like one of these, and she's like, okay, goodbye forever. And also Dala, who was a very cool villain, and I liked her even though she like failed all the time. I really liked her. So Dala had apparently gathered a whole group of people that were still loyal to the Empire to take to an uninhabited planet so they could basically just be left alone. But on the way there, she stumbles on Namchurios and meets her long-lost love. So now she's just gonna go off and be with him. And it bothered me because I felt like that was just kind of thrown in there as like a dismissal to Dala, and I thought, like, Barbara Hambly, the disrespect to Kevin Anderson and this villain that he has put so much time and effort into. So I was annoyed because it felt just kind of like a throwaway, like, oh yeah, I might as well tie up this loose end too, even though it wasn't really your loose end to tie up. And I also just really liked Dala, and I wanted to see more of her character progress. But you know what, man, like, if she's just gonna go off and be with her love now, like, okay, I'll take it, it's fine, I'll take it, whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Dala gets a happy ending. Luke and Callista are no longer together. Those are the things that happen in this book. So next time, I will be talking about iJedi, which is kind of, I'm going back in time here. I know I normally like to go forward, and I'm going back in time here. iJedi revisits the Jedi Academy trilogy period of time only through the eyes of one of the pupils. And I hear it's very, very good. It's been recommended to me by several people, so I'm gonna go check that out. So I'm excited to talk about that next time. So thanks for watching.